Everybody come this way, please.
You're fine.
Why is that? Don't give away my class. Okay. Hello.
Hello, I am Madame Camille from one of the very first detective stories, Murders of the Rue Morgue, and this is...
My name is General Lassalle. I'm from the story of the Pit and the Pendulum, as well as a real historical French general who fought alongside Napoleon.
Now, before we embark on our journey, please remember that you can leave at any time, and there will be strobe lights and fog.
Please remember to silence all cell phones. Please remember to silence all cell phones. The others are not too used to technology, and please refrain from touching things. We don't like that here. You're respectful. Okay,
Poe was born to David Poe Jr. and Eliza Poe on January 19th, 1809 in Boston. He was born to a poor family, and both his mother and father died when he was young.
when he was 18, he joined the military to support himself financially and to get away from his foster father, who was abusive. When he was 27, he married his first cousin, Virginia, who died 11 years later of tuberculosis.
Poe was addicted to alcohol and opium. Many believe that this loss fueled his writing.
We welcome you to the disturbingly philosophical imagination of Edgar Allan Poe. Please stand behind the tape.
Please stand behind the line. Do not look in.
Now it is time to show you the story of Poe's life using our exploration of media, one of the longest continuing art forms in the Western world, a puppet show.
It is in the Punch and Judy style, which is known for its slapstick comedy. The show will be on Poe's interesting and depth-filled life. Please let the show begin.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Thaddeus Grinner Punch. You know me, Senor, Mr. Punch. I want you to old friend of mine. Edgar? Edgar! He's very shy. You see. Edgar! Oh, how old are you, my lord? Miss Eliza? Oh, you know. Sure. Okay. Go right. Right what? Short stories and poems, of course. I'm so confused. Don't worry. You'll know what to do. Here, take some opium. Thanks. It'll help with my demons. Off you go. You two, go on. Go. The man-minded Poe is waiting. No!
Please follow us. In Poe's time, popular culture was obsessed with Gothic genre, which eventually led to the idea of your other, or your twin.
Have I seen you before? I feel like I know you. Wait, that must have been in Castlevania.
Mirrors, those reflectors of inverse truth are as old as ancient Egypt. Micah, I'm sorry. This next room represents Poe's story, William Wilson, which told the story of a doppelganger.
Now,
Half of you with her, the other half I'll take this way.
single file, not used for other.
One candidate can only with double beam of proof.
Let me call myself William Wilson.
We carried the same name. It started off friendly, but little did he know I resented him on the inside. He stole my distinctive way of life. I found him grotesque, but I couldn't resist his charm. I have to kill him. We cannot coexist. You must die! But his enemy, did he exist? For I murdered thyself, and William Wilson is no.
Please hurry, follow me this way. Please hurry.
Ladies first aid and go.
Please wait in here. was fascinated with what he called the imp of the perverse, the urge to self-destructive behavior that he so often felt himself. The narrator of this next story is plagued by the same imp of the perverse, the urge to do what he knows will be his destruction.
The Black Cat was inspired by the end of the anti-alcoholic tracts in our era, the stories that were written by supposed ex-alcoholics that were meant to show how badly people acted under the influence.
Please, don't go in there, he's gonna kill you! Don't go in there!
Okay, so let's go in there. Everyone take a seat. Please file all the way down.
Yet mad I'm not. Very surely I do not dream. You will pardon me for seeking relief in a few rambling details. I place before you a series of mere household events that have destroyed me. From my infancy I was noted for the gentleness of my disposition.
You love animals as much as I. You are a man with a good heart.
So my wife procured for me.
Birds.
Lovely.
A fine dog.
Noble animal.
Rabbits.
Again.
And a cat.
Ah, the cat's a remarkably large and beautiful animal. Entirely lacking quite intelligence.
All cats are witches in disguise, my dear. Pluto.
Pluto. This is the cat's name.
He is your favorite of all the animals. Is he not?
I alone feed him.
He follows you everywhere, even into the street.
Our friendship lasted in this manner for several years, during which my gentlemanly temperament began to change.
I need more scotch.
I grew more moody and more irritable.
This is repulsive.
I'm sorry.
My disease grew upon me, and even Pluto could not escape the effects of my ill temper. One night returning home much intoxicated,
Pluto. Damn beast!
the fury of a demon instantly possessed me.
Fool!
I knew myself no longer.
Where is it?
My waistcoat pocket,
Open it.
the penknife,
Get the beast by the throat.
and deliberately
Cut one of its eyes.
from the socket. When reason returned in the morning, I again plunged into excess.
I'll soon drown all memory of the deed.
In the meantime,
The cat is slowly recovering.
the socket of the lost eye presented is truly a frightful appearance.
But he no longer appears to suffer.
He goes about the house as usual.
But he flees in terror at my approach.
I had so much of my old heart left to us. I'd be first grieved by this evident dislike, but that feeling gave way to.
Irritation. The spirit of perverseness has entered me.
Of this spirit, philosophy takes no account. It is truly a primitive impulse of the human heart.
Who has not, dear wife, 100 times found himself committing a vile or silly action for no reason other than because he knows he should not?
It was this unfathomable longing of the soul to vex itself that urged me to continue and consummate the injury I inflicted upon the unoffending brutes. One morning,
In cold blood?
I slit the noose
About its neck?
and from a limb,
Of a tree?
I
hung it!
hung it with the tears streaming from my eyes.
Hung it because I knew
Because
that
I knew that in doing so, I placed my immortal soul even beyond the reach of
the most merciful and terrible God.
Months after what I had done, I could not rid my mind of the cat. I went as far as to regret the loss of the animal. One night as I sat,
Half stupefied,
my attention was drawn to some
black object,
on top of the
table,
I approached and touched it.
the large black cat.
The animal evinced a disposition to follow my every movement. I soon found a dislike to it.
Arising within me.
Its evident fondness for me.
Disgusts and annoys me.
Gradually, I came to look upon it with unutterable.
Loathing.
I did not know the blessing of rest. I could not escape this beast's presence. It was as if it was haunting me. My hatred began to increase. Of all things and all mankind, my uncomplaining wife was the most usual and patient sufferer from my outburst of fury.
I found the finest wine, but it's in the cellar.
The cat followed us down the steep stairs. In my wrath for getting my childish dread of the animal, I lifted an axe. Goaded by this interference and rage more than demoniacal, I withdrew my arm from her grasp and buried the axe.
In her brain.
This hideous murder accomplished, I set myself to the task of
Concealing the body.
I knew that I could.
Wall it up in the cellar. Displace the bricks at this point. Inserted the corpse. Come on. And replace the bricks so that no eye could detect that anything had happened.
Once again I breathed.
As a free man, I shall behold it no more!
The guilt of the murder disturbed me little. Few inquiries had been made, but they had been readily answered, of course. Even a search had been instituted, but nothing was found. On the fourth day of the assassination. Police! I wish to make another search. As you please. You left no corner unexplored. Into the cellar. My heart beat calmly as that of one who sleeps in innocence. I quivered not a muscle.
Well, I'm satisfied, sir. I will leave you now in peace.
I delight to have allayed your suspicion. I wish you health and a little more courtesy. This house is very well constructed. These walls are solidly put together.
Like the sobbing of a child. It's inhuman.
In the next instant, the wall was torn away. I'd walled the monster up within the tomb. Get off of me now! Get out of here! Get off of me now!
We have to hurry before he comes back. I don't know what else he could do.
Get out! Now! Get out of here! Now! I said out! What are you doing?
Hello there. My name is Constance. And I was your guide today here at Washington College Hospital, where Poe died of mysterious causes. I'll show you around. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Wilkins, who will be performing on Francis Strotter today, who seems to have developed gangrene in his right leg. We're doing everything we can to ensure a painless procedure and a speedy recovery. And over here, you can witness some of the century's most gruesome illnesses, such as this patient, who seems to be suffering from tuberculosis. All right, now that the leg is securely off, we can go ahead and deposit it into the waste pile.
Wow. Would you look at all these body parts? You know, this job really hurts because you do all these things, but nothing seems to help. Even I wanted to help. Isn't anyone here a nurse? Any sort of medical degree? You look like you could be a nurse. You see, this woman right here used to be a nurse. All right. Next part of the hospital. Let's
This
not
way,
listen to this
please.
crazy man. Let's follow this other way.
Yeah, not again. Now that we're away from that factory, yes. Let us see where the unlucky patients go. This next room shows short representations of Morella, Bernice, Ligia, and Annabelle Lee, some of the powerful women in Poe's stories. Unfortunately, they all died untimely deaths.
My companions told me I might find some little alleviation of my misery in visiting the grave of my beloved. With a feeling of deep yet most singular affection, I regarded you, my friends. Thrown by accident into your society, my soul burns with fires it had never before known, and bitter and tormenting to my spirit is the gradual conviction that I could in no manner define their unusual meaning, nor regulate their vague intensities. You could no longer bear the touch of my wan fingers, nor the low tone of musical language, nor the luster of melancholy eyes. I knew all this, but did not approve. Smiling, I called it fate. It is a fair day for the sons of earth and light. More fair for the daughters of heaven and death.
Disease. A fatal disease. Fell, smote upon my frame, disturbing even the identity of my person. And contemplate thin and shrunken lips, with a smiling look of peculiar meaning. Would to God you had never beheld the teeth of Bernice, or having done so you had died. You can no longer hide it from your soul, nor throw it off from those perceptions which tremble to receive it.
What fiend spoke from the recesses of his soul? When Ammon goes dim aisles into the silence of the night, he whispered the syllables, Morella.
I am here.
All her teeth were ideas. All her steps were sentiments.
This way.
I'll like this. You say all screw, I'll like this. Oh, should I grab it? Should I grab it here? Look. I don't like that one.
Please fill in.
That's what I'm saying.
Poe wrote the detective story genre. He was even called a model for all time. He invented the idea of a detective and a narrator friend.
Throughout 3 stories, the murders of the Rue Morgue, the mystery of Mary Rodgett, and the purloined letter, the detective genre was developed.
Sword of Damocles hangs above your head. You see, you think you wouldn't commit the acts of violence you have seen here tonight, but you are wrong. All of you are just a push away from madness, a push away from snapping. You see, it is a cancer of this hell that we inhabit. It is a thing of nature. It is a thing of the occult. I'm going to send you back tonight, a man who thought exactly the same of you, that he was galvanized against the night of insanity. until you heard him tapping at his chamber door.
Edgar lost his wife to tuberculosis, a vicious disease that didn't spare a single soul. Lenore was the character he used to represent his wife, and losing her sent him spiraling into the darkest part of his mind, sending him further and further into insanity and depression.
After his loss, he wrote his most famous work, The Raven. Please go all the way down and do not cover the fireplace door. It is a safety hazard. Please do not cover the fireplace.
Please line up against the walls, all the way down, as far as you can go.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak, weary, over many a quaint and curious that I had forgotten o'er. Eagerly I wished tomorrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow. Sorrow, the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, when in stepped a stately raven, the saintly face of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed, but with mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Now this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, like the grim and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. This I sat, engaged in guessing, not a syllable expressing, to the fowl's fiery eyes burned within my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease, reclining on the cushion's velvet lining, the lamplight floating o'er. But whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight floating o'er, she shall pass nevermore. Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet still if ye be bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell me, with sorrow laden, if within a distant Aden I shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting. This I shrieked, upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy sword from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Come now. Let us leave this man to grief. An old friend of mine. I believe he has a caretaker now, though his caretaker is a bit, well, strange. He claims to have acute senses, though personally I think him mad, though he is a bit sensitive to that.
Why would you say that I am mad? The disease has sharpened my senses, not destroyed, dulled them. Above all was a sense of hearing the cues. I heard all the things in heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in there. How then am I mad? Hearken and observe how healthily, how calmly. I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain. But once there it haunted me, day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man. The old man was dead. Stone dead. His eye wouldn't show me anymore. If you still think me mad, you'll think so no longer after I describe the wise precautions I took for the human skeleton of the body. First of all, I took up 3 principal floors and deposited all therein. Then I replaced boards so cleverly that no human eye, not even his, could have suspected anything wrong at all. There was no stain, no blood spot. A tub had caught it all. And I had finally made an end to these labors. Yes?
From the police, a loud shriek was heard by a neighbor in the night. They suspected some sort of foul play. I've come to perhaps search your premises.
Welcome. The shriek was undoubtedly my own in a dream. The old man who lives near my care is where in the country? Come in, search the house. Search well. I look down later through the chamber. You see, all is as it should be.
I'm satisfied with my investigation.
Here, a chair will sit. You must be tired. And some refreshment.
Thank you. You're very kind.
And in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, I placed myself on the very spot which reposed the corpse of the victim.
You obviously have nothing to hide.
He sat. Well, I answered cheerfully. He touched on familiar things, but ere long, I felt myself growing pale and wished him gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. I talked more freely to get rid of my feelings until I found that the noise was not within my ears, and talked more fluently with a heightened voice.
It's possible.
But the noise increased. It was a low, dull, quick sound such as watch makes enveloped in cotton. Yet the officer heard it not. I talked more quickly, but the noise increased steadily. I argued about trifles.
Quite right, too.
But the noise increased. Why had it not begun? The noise increased. God, what could I do? It grew louder and louder. And still the man checked pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible that he heard it not? God, no. He heard it. He suspected. You speaking a mockery of my word. Anything more told me this version I felt.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Here we have scenes, a handful of scenes set in that whole road set in the Middle Ages.
Please come and join us. But beware, the Red Death has claimed these entire lands for itself, leaving no soul spared.
See, they leave the presence out here while the royalty and nobility party is secluded, hoping that they will be safe until it is past.
No plague has ever been so harmful yet so dosing this country.
Incessant stream. Look, you're not here to talk about that. You're here for a party. The king is summoned. That prince in that high castle, he's locked himself there for the last 6 months. No word to us. He's left us out here to rot. He cares about us. I'd rather watch us die. Just and have fun. And now he opens his doors, not to us, his royal subjects, but to you, outsiders. Not to us, his royal subjects, but to you, the lucky few.
Silence! Come now! I said
Please. Please. Help
Welcome. This room is amply provisioned, and with such precautions you may bid defiance to contagion. The external world will take care of itself. In the meantime, it is folly to grieve or to think. I have all the appliances of pleasure.
Fortunato. The 1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne the best I could. But when he ventured insult, I vowed revenge. However, I continued, as my wont, to smile in his face, and he did not perceive that my smile was now at the thought of his immolation. He had a weak point, this Fortunato. He prided himself on his connoisseurship in wine. In all else, he was an idiot. But, in the matter of old wines, he was sincere. I would use the promise of the finest of sherry wines, the promise of Amontillado, to lure him to his punishment. Ah, yes. Just a few moments ago, I tricked that wretched fool. He could not believe his ears. Fortunato, my dear Fortunato, I sought you out because I have received what appears to be a cask of Amontillado.
Amontillado? How?
Amontillado.
That's simply impossible.
I'd have my doubts. I'd have my doubts. I may have been cheated, so I need an expert to taste it and see. It was almost time for me to enact my plan, to force Fortunato to his hellish demise. But beware. Once you enter these catacombs, you will not be alive.
Where's the cask?
Look the passageway ahead. Ah, but it's far too cold in here. We must go back. Your help is precious.
It is nothing. I must taste the Amontillado.
You are a man to be missed. For me, it is no matter. We will go back.
Go on.
I had no intention of alarming you in such a way, but you must use all proper caution. Here, a draught of this medic will surely defend us from the damp.
I drink to the dead that repose around us.
And I, to your long life. Let us follow them in. Cold! We must go back. Ere it is too late.
It's nothing. I must taste the Amontillado.
Very well. Therein is the cask of Amontillado.
It is empty. No!
I'm your judge, your jury, and your executioner.
Oh, for the love of God, Montresor.
Yes!
No!
For the love of God! Yes! Finally! Finally! What? Fortunato is mine! Get them! All of them! Out! Go! Run! Please! Now! No witnesses! Follow me! All of them! Take them all before they escape!